We have had an adventurous month. We did the tedious task of moving. If anyone's moved in the last little while, you know how horrible that is. And I've set up camp. Officially moved to the Cariboo and on Sheridan Lake specifically, and taking on a new venture. We've been in for a few weeks, ran some footage. Just it's still winter up here. The Cariboo's 3 weeks to a month behind in concerns to weather and temps from where we came from in Douglas Lake, and taking on a new resort. And I'm gonna bring you along kind of from the start, as long as we can continue on vlogging. Depends how busy things get, but we're up here at Piney Point Resort in the Cariboo, and we're getting some taking care of some things that we wanted to take care of before we open up. Wanted to get a few things up to speed. This is the office here behind me. It's got a residence attached to it. Currently we're living in that chalet back there, chalet number 1, which is super sweet. But as things progress and we get closer to the opening season here, which is May 15th, we will then set up in this office and residence. Right now we're painting. When Jen and I first moved in, having a look around, and the yellow and orange office just wasn't cutting it. Oh sweet, the sun's coming out. It's a back and forth sun and snow kind of thing here in the Boo, as most people know. Back to what I was saying, is the office was a little bit challenging. It was kind of bright orange and yellow, and had some older stuff affixed to it, so we wanted to kind of get it up to speed and be somewhere that we're proud of working out of and representing the resort. So we're painting right now. Kind of moved a bunch of stuff around. We do have all of our belongings kind of spread out between one of the buildings over there, some in the chalet behind me there, and just waiting. Probably in about 2 weeks we'll start moving our belongings around and get it into the other facility here. One thing that wasn't here off the bat was Wi-Fi. It was in the one building here, so I bought this off of Amazon. This is it's called a Wi-Fi bridge, and they're super cool. Basically, you plug that into a router, and then you get a line of sight set up, which I did off of the you can see behind me, off of the window off of that building. That beams Wi-Fi. Kind of just set it up. It's plugged in down there. That beams Wi-Fi over, and then the other bridge picks up a signal, and you set that up off of a router, and you're good to go. So first things first was getting the Wi-Fi up and running. Of course, we don't have cable and stuff like that anymore, so getting some good Wi-Fi going was the challenge. Immediately moving over there. And then water was an issue when we first got here, which I'd worked on. One of the pumps was failing and the filters were clogged, so I had to just cut out and delete some temporary plumbing to one of the pumps, swap out a couple of the inline filters, and now water's happening. So we've got water and Wi-Fi. When you've got water and Wi-Fi, you can live anywhere. Just kidding. I'm gonna take you in the office here. Have a look. Have a little boo. Have a look. Yeah, just got the swellfish sitting here inside. This was all yellow and orange, and we've gone to some warm tones of offsets of grays, and it just has really brightened it up. This is all old pegboard, as you can see, and pegboard's always a tricky thing to make look good. We brought in some of these shelving units here that were ours, and painted them in kind of the two tones. And these are going to block off entranceway into the residence there. We got some wait for paint fish rainbow trout job. Did about 3 coats. Hey Jen? 3 coats, kind of everywhere. But yeah, see, that's an entranceway into one of the other residents there. And then even the windowsills. Working on the windowsills now. What was that color before?
Kind of like a smoky yellow. Like an off-white. It all looks so much better.
Yeah, other than pictures, I think the only evidence is going to be on some of those older clips. But yeah, a lot of masking, a lot of extra coats, super important. And just, making sure everything looks
Gotta
right.
make sure.
It's a cool office because you got a good view, of, where people are going to be. You can see them kind of checking in and action going on down at the chalets, and then you can see
coming in from the lake.
You can see people coming down the road on the way in to check in. A little bit of view of what the neighbors are up to, and then what's going on out this way, to the lake, to the boat launch. This is gonna enable us to have some shelf retail space, but also block out, some of the personal part of the residence. So kind of designed it where, we have some storage and some space back here for office and admin stuff. And then we also, have it kind of blocked off, cornered for some, peace of mind and privacy too. But these shelves will allow us to, if we want to get into selling some fly equipment and stuff, that'll help big time too. Yeah, so far so good. I mean, the layout feels right. It's not too big in here, not too small, just enough to conduct, proper check-in and out business and admin stuff like that, and good profile of, like I was saying before, where you can see what's going on from here, but not be that guy. Yeah, it's interesting to live on this side of Highway 24. Man, there is so many lakes. I was zooming around on the maps last night, and there's lakes all over the place, hence interlakes. So locally we've got a few shopping options. Ironically, just right down the road, many people have visited. It's the Interlakes general store there with a Rona behind it randomly, which is super cool. That's from the doorstep here, that's like 10 minutes. Lone Butte is about 25 minutes from here. Where there's a pub and a restaurant and a gas station, and Mark's awesome outdoor store, Lone Butte Sporting Goods. So that's about 25 minutes from here. And then 100 Mile, which is our new hub, is about just under an hour from the resort to 100 Mile. And that's where you can get, better groceries, parts and pieces, and supplies. If you head down 24 to Little Fort, Kamloops is just under 2 hours from here. So that's the ticket. It's not that bad, 2 hours. So, that's a day if you're going to go to Kamloops and pick up some supplies and, you know, rations and some parts and pieces and things that you need and shoot back up. It's fully easily doable in a half a day, but it's more or less a full day. But we've been using 100 Mile as kind of the hub, so. And, you know, it's just the waiting game now for the ice to come off. Fresh score. Picked up a relic yesterday. 1994 two-stroke Merc 8-horse. Barely used. Super deal on a mint two-stroke. I think it's got about 5 hours on it, like not even. Super impressive. Honestly, this little butte, I'll open it up later and show you. This little butte's got maybe 5 hours on it. It's unbelievable. People I bought it off in Kamloops were telling me kind of the story of it. 8-horse two-stroke. This will be perfect. Perfect on the little 12-foot swell fish. Beauty. Just sit them in a, you know, a little old barrel like this for now. You can do your water testing in here and your peeing and everything. Looks good. Soaked. You know, so what drew me here first was the size. The resort here has 3 really nice modern lakefront chalets that are appointed perfectly for, you know, angler groups or family groups of, like, say 4 to 6. Those are behind me here, and they're lakefront and, you know, newly designed buildings. And then the resort also has 2 rustic cabins from what I believe is the original resort design, late 60s, that have been, you know, properly maintained, which are super neat. Yeah, cool little rustic experience. And then there's 20 plus, some full service and some not, RV sites kind of scattered out throughout the property. So, you know, layout wise and size wise, for me, I'm taking this on. Pretty comfortable with it. It seems just right. Wow.
Did you not see that tree laying across the driveway?
Huh?
We're gonna have to go take care of it.
What tree?
You'll see it. Oh, thank you. Do you want to come too? Okay, help me put my shoes on. We'll get going.
So there's, you gotta get the chainsaw then. When a tree falls from the neighbor's yard but lands on your driveway, you have to cut it.
Day. Come on, get your feet muddy. Come on, get your feet muddy.
This is like the multi-daily routine. It's going out to the Piney Point. It's called the Point over here. The dogs love it over there. Good spot to have a little pip and a little poop. Got a good view of Sheridan from there, which is awesome. You can just see, I'll show you, there's some little bit of the shoreline starting to come ice free, so that's always promising.
Oh, look at this little baby. Just starting.
That's cool. Sheridan's on both sides of this point. It pretty much just goes out and ends like a little 3-meter spit.
This is cool. Be a nice little place to hang out in the summertime. Little quiet spot down there. Oh, whoa. This slides.
Yeah.
Slowly working away. There's a little beach, little private beach down here.
You can see a little bit of shoreline melt going on down there. Hey, stay away from that. That's an edge. It's kind of tearing away too. It's cool. You can see like the banks all tearing away here from the leftover schminter.
Banco Jones. Come on, baby. Don't go down there. Hey, come here. Let's go up here.
There's the well-known for sale island out here. This is all shoal out front. Spectacular.
Haven't seen any skidoos on the water in a while either. Must be getting really thin.
On the water?
On the ice. You know what I meant.
Yeah, and this is like the point. Literally. Got water there. Water there. It's just a little spit. Beautiful. Really cool spot. Might even open up some of this area for tent sites. Kind of makes sense. Yeah, you can see down there a little bit of ice off, and then on this side definitely just starting to come off. Which is great.
Excited to be going to get some local honey from our new friend Steve something. We'll get to know him pretty well, I think, from all the honey I consume daily.
In 500 meters, turn left.
Got it.
This is like the honey trail.
Heck yes. The sweet honey trail. We're gonna find him. Where are you, Steve? Where's your big buckets of honey? I'm gonna be buying lots of honey from your dad.
Awesome.
So this is Steve, and Steve,
Hi, how's it going?
you create or produce local honey.
Yeah, we've been beekeeping for about 15 years.
What's the company?
Gold Strike Honeybee Company.
Oh man.
We started out in Lillooet, and then we moved this last summer up to the Cariboo, but I've always kept bees out in the Chilcotin, so it's kind of a middle ground for us now.
Yeah,
Wow,
nice.
there's nothing better than consuming local honey too when you live in the area.
It's an organic alfalfa wildflower honey. It's pretty consistent year to year. It's good stuff.
Wow, excellent. Someone's super happy.
I'm so excited.
Awesome. Right on. Thank you.
Oh yeah, that's nice. We should show off the linear room, the linear loft.
Right.
So this is our linear loft, where everything gets put together and shipped out. It's a pretty sweet place to hang out.
Yeah, and of course, just when we were set to move, and actually in the middle of packing, we finally landed all of our inventory for 2022 for the linear fly rod. So now we're packaging out of this loft here, which is super cool, and then shipping out of the Lone Butte post office. Jen makes run a few times a week, depending, at least once a week right now. She's doing all the processing of the orders and the emails and the packaging, and we're running ads and communications off of social media, and that's all happening all at once too. So it's a pretty wild time. Well, thanks for watching. I'm pretty excited and interested in, vlogging more from the standpoint of, operating and starting up with a new resort, and, kind of our daily routines and some of our struggles and the highs and the lows, and of course, the exceptional fly fishing, right from our doorstep. Well, thanks for joining in, and please like and subscribe to the page if you like what you see, and we'll try and be pushing these out as often as we can. And once again, here we go. Spring is in the air. Not necessarily here, but it's getting closer than it was yesterday.